Welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Last time we made our way through a little more than half of Dragon Roost Cavern, and this time we're going to be making our way through the second, smaller half. That doesn't exactly work mathematically, but who cares? This staircase here, you want to rush, because as you run up, the stairs will fall out from below you, so make sure you keep up the pace. And there's someone familiar looking over there. Medli got captured. I'm surprised that she isn't, you know, the four-letter word for not alive anymore. These are bad guys, Ganon's minions, or Ganondorf's minions in this case, because he's Ganondorf in this game. And here's another one. Our first fightable moblin in the game, and these guys are no joke. They can take away a lot of your health. If they attack you, well, if you attack them rather, they can counter very easily. Like, maybe he'll do it here. Right there, as soon as he got up, he paused for a second, and then he punched at you. Sometimes he will go after his stick again, but if you're close enough to him, he'll straight up try and attack you. And if he has his stick, he has a lot of range, so you're basically not going to be getting away from him. Therefore, you should block. It's weird. This game doesn't encourage blocking as much as it does, you know, parrying and countering. So you don't really think to defend in this game, and you can't actually defend all the time because of that context-sensitive thing that I talked about before. I guess I didn't actually show what the contexts were, but I kind of can now because, well, I have the, what should I call it? The prerequisites, let's say. And why did you even use the grappling hook, the ancient device of the Rito from before you had wings, if you have wings? Although you can't exactly fly as well as others because you had to glide through that one area. But anyway, the context-sensitive thing. You press ZR while you don't have any weapons or anything out, you crouch, and you crawl around. If you do have something out, be it the telescope, be it your sword, be it this new grappling hook we just got, you'll instead defend with the shield. So, there, that's what I was talking about before. And with the grappling hook, we can essentially be Indiana Jones. We just throw it at items we want to hook onto, and we can swing. If you press ZR, you'll stop the swing and be able to climb up the rope. Hello, Medli. And if you don't hold ZR, it basically works like the ropes in... where was it again? The pirate ship, where we were doing that test with Nico. That was kind of a tutorial for this, which is kind of interesting. There is quite a lot of time between us getting the grappling hook and that swinging section, and I am being dumb. For some reason, I'm holding the stop button. I'm holding ZR. Kind of being dumb. And I took fall damage. It's kind of weird seeing fall damage in these games again, because some of them don't do it. Like Majora's Mask 3D doesn't have damage from falling down a pit or resetting a room, basically you could call it. I don't think Skyward Sword had damage from falling down a pit or restarting a screen, so it's kind of weird. And here's what I was talking about before, being able to steal items. You throw your grappling hook at an enemy, and you can take whatever it is they drop. So I can pretty much grind these joy pendants as easily as I want. And thanks to those two being dead, the treasure chest appears down there. There are a couple ways of getting to it. You can do the unorthodox method, hang off of here, fall, and then perform a jump attack to change your momentum so that you move forward. Or the way that I've always done it. You spin attack all these ropes stand in the middle of the bridge, and eventually it'll fall. So we can get whatever's in here, and it's another joy pendant. Well, that's actually a good thing, so I won't complain about that. And I wanted a roll, I didn't want to pick up I was gonna call it a stick. Sword. I guess swords are sharp sticks. This platform, thank goodness that rope did not break. You need to perform a spin attack. If you do not... How did I guess the... Oh, jeez. I guess the lava pillar hurt me. If you do not perform a spin attack and just break one of the ropes, the platform will lean to one side, and it's too steep for you to stand on, so you'll just fall down into your death, or to your loss of half a heart. And Link is having his tired expression again. I honestly can't tell if it's beeping right now because, again, the way I have things set up, I can't exactly hear the audio. This room is actually kind of interesting. In the original version of the game, I talked about Tingle before, but he has a different item, something called the Tingle Tuner. And if you have a Game Boy Advance and a connector cable for your GameCube, you can use the Tingle Tuner, and you could have a second player, or you could use the Tingle Tuner yourself, essentially, and have them do some extra good things for you, such as maybe creating a bomb, or giving you a red potion. All these things cost money, not that much really, and I was not supposed to kill him like that. Basically, the Tingle Tuner is kind of easy mode. There are some things you can't get without it though, and they changed that in this version of the game. Can I hit you? In this version, the items that you couldn't get were called Tingle statues, and in certain rooms within dungeons, you would place a Tingle bomb and blow it up in a specific area, and when it blew up, it would reveal a Tingle statue in that area. And the Tingle statue would appear on Tingle Island, which is the island on the treasure chart that Tingle gave us. Also, these enemies, if you don't do the reaction command, I guess you could call it, you can instead hit their solid forms, I guess you could say, and that will also kill them. Keys can die to the Grappling Hook. The Grappling Hook doesn't actually do any damage, but it can kill minor enemies. Well, it doesn't do damage to major enemies, I guess I could say, like bokoblins and moblins, but smaller enemies like Keys, they could die from it. The specific area where you could get that Tingle statue is that platform right in front of me right now. Right here. You place a Tingle bomb, or in this version of the game, you place a regular bomb, which means going back into the dungeon to do that. And you would get the Tingle statue. They honestly don't do anything, as I recall. They might get you some money from someone on Tingle Island or something like that, but I don't think it's all that useful. So I don't think I'll be... You know what? Actually, I will. I'll be going back into dungeons and getting those Tingle statues on my own time so that I can show them off on Tingle Island. And I guess I'll have short little clips of myself going to those areas and getting the statues. I have like 2 of the areas memorized. The other 3 or so, well, I don't remember exactly how many there are rather. So I have 2 memorized. I gotta look the other ones up, I guess, or just kind of blow a bunch of things up until I find them. I'll probably look them up. I'm not sure if the enemies respawned in this area. Oh, they did, which means another joy pendant from me from you. And same to you. Thank you, and you may die. I don't know why I'm breaking those pots in the hopes of finding hearts when there aren't any hearts to be found in hero mode. it's kind of force of habit. Maybe there'd be rupees in there. Now that we have the big key, we can head back to the room that has the warp pot and get through to the boss door pretty much. We're done with the dungeon essentially. But because we need more joy pendants in order to complete the game, I am going to be doing something special. It's the best way to grind joy pendants in my opinion. You head back to the beginning of the dungeon, and you see these guys here? If you don't kill them and just take their joy pendants, let's grab one from the other guy as well. There we go. And then head through this door. The room resets. And you can lock onto them again, grab their joy pendants again, and rinse repeat until you get enough joy pendants. If you're going for 100%, you'll want 40. If you're just going for completing the game, you'll want 20. And this game honestly does give you a lot of joy pendants in treasure chests and such in dungeons, or maybe digging them up, or I keep saying digging, salvaging them from the ocean. So you don't really have to grind. It's just for people who don't really want to salvage or save time, let's just say. Let us swing over here. There's more of these caterpillar enemies. I'm going to pause so I don't get hit by him and equip the bottle, because in this pot there's a fairy and hopefully I could grab it. There we go. Fairies work basically the same way they did in Ocarina of Time. If you have one in a bottle, when you lose all of your health, then the fairy will come out of your bottle and revive you. Come on. Aw, come on. There we go. I don't want to deal with you anymore. And something, I don't think I mentioned this. Link in this game will often look towards items of interest. So he'll look up at that grapple point, for example. I believe, if I didn't talk about this before, hopefully I didn't talk about this before, but I believe that Miyamoto wanted there to be a purpose to Link having huge eyes in this game. And originally they were thinking of giving Link eye beams, like lasers that can shoot out of his eyes. But they instead decided to go with something a little more grounded, and instead he would be able to look at items of interest around the rooms. And here's the boss room, along with the tail of Valoo up above, surrounded by some weird rock. I guess he's stuck because of that rock or something like that. Or maybe he just has his tail dangling down all the time. Here's Goma, first boss of the game. Also first boss of Ocarina of Time, but this is a very different Goma. It's a fiery kind of enemy instead. It can breathe fire at you, it can swipe at you with its claws, and when it does, usually its claws will be lodged into the ground, and they'll basically cut you off. So if you're running in a certain direction, let's say you're running clockwise around the room, and then it smashes down with its left claw, it'll cut you off, and you'll have to go in the opposite direction if you want to keep running. There are pots around the room. In the normal version of the game, ow, Jesus. In the normal version of the game, those pots would contain hearts. In this version, however, they just don't have anything in them. That kind of sucked that I got hit there. Whenever Goma does pick up a rock to put back on Valoo's tail, he does cause fire to kind of spout out everywhere. So you want to stay away from the center of the room when that happens. Hopefully nothing hits me this time. And I think I'm fine. So, well, that's a lot of slowdown. Let's just grab the tail one more time, because rule of 3 in these Zelda games. And we don't need to be on a platform anymore, so we can just swing off wherever we need to. You can fall into the lava, but it doesn't reset the room. It just causes you to bounce back, like onto the ring around Goma. So it's not too big of a deal. And there's Goma's true form. We can send the grappling hook at it to grab its eye and pull it toward us. Usually those pincers will get in the way, so you want to wait until it widens its mouth, I guess you could call it, so that you could attack the eye, or at least grab the eye with the grappling hook so you could attack it with your sword by drawing it closer to you. But sometimes you might slip through and get to the eye, which is what happened just there. And here's our first heart container in the game, which I'm not going to be getting because I am stubborn and cocky, so no extra hearts for me in this game. Again, there's only 2 mandatory heart pieces in this game that you have to get in order to beat it, as I recall. Well, maybe you don't. You can probably avoid them, but it would make the game a lot harder because they're actually linked to something that's, how should I put it, mandatory? Yeah, that's pretty much the way of saying it. They're linked to a mandatory thing. So you kind of have to get those pieces of hearts. And now that Goma's gone, the island should be returning to normal. And it is. There go the clouds. There should still be a ring of clouds, just not as evil looking as they were previously. But we saved the day. Thankfully they teleport us out of the dungeon and right next to the King of Red Lions. How does everyone else know that we got teleported here? I have no idea. I guess they were just waiting for us because they knew we were going to leave or something like that. Because we helped the island, because Komali is going to be able to grab a scale from Valoo, he is going to be giving us a little present. This apparently was a keepsake from his grandmother, but now it's ours. It's Din's Pearl, one of the 3 pearls that we need. Obviously the other 2 are going to be related to the goddesses as well. And this is something different for New Game Plus as well. I said as well twice in the span of like 10 seconds, whatever. In New Game Plus, usually, well, no, not usually, every time that someone speaks in Hylian, it instead appears as normal text. In the original version of the game, or rather the not New Game Plus version, it would instead appear as Hylian text and you wouldn't be able to understand it unless you actually knew Hylian and I guess Japanese. But thanks to our special tunic, I guess, we can see the text. And honestly, it isn't too big of a deal that we can see it, at least for Valoo specifically. There are other characters that are going to be talking in Hylian, and things might get a little bit spoilery with those characters. Yeah, King of Red Lions isn't going to let us on him until we change the direction of the wind to the south. So let's just do that real fast. And then get on him. And immediately change the direction of the wind to west. So that we can go back to Windfall Island. Because there's some side questy stuff that I want to do there that would make my life a lot easier. However, we are going to be interrupted once we, go far enough out from the island. It's a manfish. That's pretty much what he's called in this game. Or I think he only appears in this game, as a matter of fact. And he helps us out a little bit. He will give us new islands on our sea chart. The way to do this most of the time you know, aside from this one time where he does it for free, is to spread bait whenever you find him. And when you do, he will paint on your island, give it, you know, well, not on your island, paint on your map, give you the actual geography of the island that you're near, and also give you a little hint about the island as well. He says that he has a bunch of brothers on all of the islands, but I think it's just him, like on, or not on, near every island, and he just hoards all the bait. I don't think there's actually more than one of those merman things. And now that we're out on the open sea, since we've gone in this direction before, I'm probably going to cut until we get back to Windfall Island, so see ya whenever I get there. Okay, I'm back. We're not actually all the way at the island, but there's something a little special that I want to show off before we actually get back there. There's this ring on the ocean. When you get closer to it, it kind of goes away. There is an audio cue, and I believe your controller will vibrate if you're like right on top of where that ring was. But basically use the grappling hook on the boat and it becomes a claw. Well, it kind of already is a claw, but you'll be able to send it into the ocean and grab whatever's beneath. So just there, I got myself an extra 50 rupees. And now we're actually at the island so I can do the other stuff that I want to do. Let's get off a boat. And I want to go to the grave. I was going to call it a graveyard for a second. I don't want to talk to you. I want to go to the grave because there is a character there who looks a lot like Elvis Presley. And also, he needs some help. So, wait, I guess I gotta talk to him first. He says that he knows some sort of special song that can do something cool, so we gotta help him out. And his name is Tot. I did not actually know that. This song is supposed to be able to turn night into day and day into night. And if you've played Ocarina of Time, I feel like I've been saying that a lot this Let's Play, then you might know what that song is. This part was a little confusing for me when I was younger, because he does poses here, and these poses look like he's doing right, left, middle, and then down. But that's not actually what he's doing. He's just doing right, left, down. So, yeah, keep it in 3/3 time, people. Or 3/4 time, rather. It's not 3/3 time. Either way, now we know the Song of Passing. He does kind of hint that it's supposed to be in 3/4 time because in his dialogue he says it goes something like cha, which is only like 3 things, but whatever. Let's use this fairy because I need some health. And because I have enough chew jelly, or at least I should have enough chew jelly. I think it only, I don't want to talk to you, man. Let's get it out of our spoils bag now. And I just passed the potion shop because I was paying attention to the gamepad. Here we are. And if we show this guy our chew jelly, in exchange for 5 of them, he will fill up our bottle for free. His shop isn't exactly the most spruced up it could be right now. There is gonna be more chew jelly that we'll be getting later in the game to allow us to, I didn't want to read that, to allow us to recover other things. But we can't get into those other things right now because we don't have those other things. I want to go talk to Xunre, I think is his name, because he's actually opened up shop now thanks to that little investment we gave him. And okay, well I guess I gotta talk to him over here instead. essentially he's trying to make a business, and in order to do so, you need to, I believe, trade a bunch of items to a bunch of other characters in the game. And once you do, then you'll get something special from him. If you trade all of the items, then I believe you get a piece of heart. But if you only trade 3, then you'll get something special that I can't talk about because I guess it would be spoilers. Either way, he's just explaining it right now. They're traveling merchants who only stay in one spot. And if you trade with them, then they'll have the postman deliver their products to this stall, and he'll be able to sell more things. Yes, I understand perfectly. So, we're partners. And he gives us our first trading item, the town flower. For a second I thought I was going to have to buy that, but thank goodness I do not, because I need my rupees. We'll be seeing another traveling merchant in the near future, actually. Probably next part. However, this part, I want to make it nighttime. So let's use the Song of Passing, which kind of sounds like the Sun Song from Ocarina of Time. And now that it's nighttime, we can head into this house, or more like a mansion, honestly, because it is very fancy looking. And this is where Xunre lives. At least this is where I think he lives. Never mind, he just rents this place out for auctions. And I can just explain what an auction is. Basically, you bid a certain amount of money in order to purchase whatever item is on sale, and there's going to be a bunch of other people bidding against you, trying to one-up you, I guess you could say. You need to basically have the highest bid when time runs out in order to get the item. And hopefully the item that I want is the first one that's going to be on sale today. If it isn't, I can just quit and go back so that I can actually get the item that I want. Hopefully, nope, this is exactly what I didn't want. It's actually not that valuable. It sells for not a lot of money. So let's just quit out of here and try again. This time the auction item is another joy pendant. Ugh. This time the auction item is a treasure chart again. Another thing that I do not want. Okay, this time... Oh, it's the thing! The thing I want, thank goodness. Okay. The Swift Sail. A new item for this version of the game. Only in the HD version. Very useful. And basically the way that the auction is going to work is I'm going to try to snipe. So at the end of the auction, I'm going to bid a very large number. I think, well, usually what I do is 60 over whatever the last bid was. And if you do that, you'll stun all the other participants. And that will allow you to, you know, wait out the rest of the clock so that you can get the final item. Or not the final item, the final bid for the item. Xunre does give hints as to when, like, not when time is up, more like thresholds as to, you know, how much time you have left. These people have unlimited rupees, so even if I bid all of my rupees right now, once they're not stunned anymore, they're going to be able to bid like 3 higher than whatever I already have. And from here on out, it's a waiting game. I might just cut until the end of the auction so that I could just get the item and go. Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. Okay, this is it. Once he says that 5 seconds are left, spam that A button so that you can fill up the bar and bid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 60 more. And usually that just gets me whatever I want to get. I didn't explain exactly how the meter works. Basically, you tap the A button in order to fill it up. Once you tap it once, So if the bar's even filled up just a sliver, it will automatically go up as time goes on. So you're gonna have to kind of be forced into actually, bidding eventually. What I do is, at the halfway point, when he says, I think time is running out, I fill the bar up to halfway, then let it go up on its own. And then when he says that there's only 5 seconds left, I just spam the button until I reach the top of the meter, or the end of the meter rather. Jeez, I'm not talking correctly. And stun all my opponents so that I can get the item. Now that we have the swift sail, sailing is going to be a non-issue for me, no longer annoying. I just have to get on my boat, press the A button once to get the regular sail out, press it a second time and you'll get the swift sail. Not only do you move faster on the water, but it also automatically changes the direction of the wind for you, so you don't have to take out your Wind Waker and play the Wind's Requiem. Let's see what's down here. Probably some more rupees. Could never go wrong with those. And I believe that the King of Red Lions won't stop me if I try to go a bit to the north of here. So in this direction. Because there's an island over there. You can see it from here. That is pretty useful if I'm able to get to there. Hopefully the King of Red Lions doesn't actually stop me. And sail pumping is a lot easier with the normal. I mean, not with the normal, with the fast sail, because all you gotta do is press the A button instead of pressing A then B and waiting for the sail to go away. And he stopped me. Okay. Well, next time we're going to be going back to Dragon Roost, and I'll probably meet you there in the next episode so that we can start heading south to our proper destination.